Oh yeah, there's some feel good music right here. Got me jamming a little bit.
You know. Well, we want to thank everybody from tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station, amongst other things. The Eyes of the Conscious Soul with Sistah B. Mellow brings to you every first Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, where there are 15 to 45-minute set mix called The Corner. Each corner has a blueprint that is unique of its own. So we always ask you to vibe out to fireside chats and be inspired by affirmations and inspirational messages. On the corner of the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, you can catch the Artist Talk. This is where we showcase musicians, poets, singers, dancers, film producers, authors, comedians, gospel and R&B rappers from around the Bay Area to across the globe. They share their creative process and their lived experience. On the other part of the corner could be Why I Dream. We highlight and honor the inventions and creative work of today's brilliant mind, along with the geniuses from our past. We are preserving African American history and culture in order to keep our legacy alive. The other part could be She Who Believes Takes Off the Mask. This is where we hear from individuals sharing their personal testimonies to what the Lord has done and is doing in their lives, which are inspirational messages. Also, we are highlighting Golden Lights affirmations to impart healing medicine in the soul of the brilliant minds today. Every second Saturday of the month, we have the Medicine Hour with Mr. George Pearson, who is a PA physician. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. Topics we cover: health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. We believe taking care of our temple, mind, and spirit is essential to having mental wellness, of course, healthy thinking for a healthy eating, and knowing that healthy thinking leads to a healthy way of living. Every third Saturday of the month, we have Education is the Best Medicine. Founder and producer. This is hosted by Mr. George Pearson. Education is the Best Medicine is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization, which is community-based, health education, advocacy-based, and a resource-based organization that uses public media, resources, radio, newspapers, and church-based community health fairs to provide health information and education. We believe vision is the art of seeing things yet unseen and bringing light to a very dark world. Every fourth Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., you will catch the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. This is hosted by Ms.Barbara Howard, aka founder and producer of the Eyes of the Conscious Soul. And this is with my co-host. In their absence of today, I'm holding it down for the Doc, Prince of Hearts, and the Voice. And then we have real talk conversations with individuals, organizations, community leaders, business owners from around the Bay Area to across the globe, talking about the differences that they're making in the world. Every fifth Saturday of the month, we have a new show that is called Voices That Care. And this is where we highlight reentry and mental wellness. But as of right now, you all have tuned in to the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show that happens every fourth Saturday of the month from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Again, hosted by myself, Miss Barbara Howard. Today's theme is Get Lit on Fire for Finlit. Hey. Yeah. And my guest today is
Miss Stephisha Ycoy-Walton.
All right. She's the business owner of
Bulletproof Group.
Hey.
And
okay. Go ahead.
And Playbook Series Inc.
All right, in Playbook Series E. So it is important today that we are getting lit with our financing and all of the good things that we have to contribute to this world, because we know that our youth and our young adults, well, I know this. I'm hoping that the community know this, that y'all know I love my youth and my young adults. They keep us, sister, keep us just a little, young and all that kind of good stuff.
That's right.
But, and they make me, they give me what I need. You guys give me what I need. And I'm so grateful and thankful to have this opportunity to have you here today. I'm so honored. You're welcome. So with that, introduce your name again.
Absolutely. I am Stephisha Ycoy-Walton.
All right. So with that, I want to ask you, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into, of course, the family. And you got to say hello and give kudos.
Oh, absolutely.
They'd be like, no, you wasn't.
Like, you forgot about me. No, okay. Never.
We ain't doing that. But
right. So once again, my name is Stephisha Ycoy-Walton. And, that last name is pretty powerful. I got to start there because it's hyphenated. The that's my wife's last name, and the Walton is, that's my last name or my father's last name. So for us, we were two strong women who were stepping into the space of unity, and neither one of us wanted to let go a piece of our identity. So we merged it together. So last name Ycoy-Walton, and from that we have a son named Carter Ycoy-Walton. Currently,
I'll hear a little bit about him in a little bit.
That's right. He'll
be on the show.
Oh yeah, man. So he's my pride and joy. 9 years old. A little bit about me. By day, I'm a licensed financial advisor. I'm a broker of insurance, investments, and mortgages. I've been in the industry now for over a decade, and my pride and joy is teaching our youth about basic financial literacy concepts so that they can understand that they don't have to be stuck in the same debt cycle forever, that we can actually get them into a prosperity cycle. So that's my main focus and my emphasis. So I do a lot of community work with that as the center focus, although that is my day job, and just outside of that, just advocating for the rights of our Black and Brown students here in Oakland. I'm a resident of Deep East Oakland, and I take a lot of pride in my schools, like, the Freedom School in Castlemont, and, even our middle schools like Elmhurst, Reach, Cox Academy. Like, these schools are close to my heart because they're right there in the Deep East. And quite honestly, they're forgotten about. And if you really want to get serious, look, you don't have to go on. But we getting lit today because, East Oakland, it's in the exact on fire. It's the exact same county area as the city of Alameda. So we have the same land space that we share, but we have totally different outcomes in terms of education and the way we live. So we're going to talk about that. But, a little bit about me, I'm here for positive impact and change.
That's right. And, you at the school that I am one of the founding, so grateful and thankful assistant. I mean, a teacher on special assignment. Look, I do a whole lot of stuff. So I have to remember what
many hats.
And so with that, with the community, with the Homies Empowerment Freedom School. So with that, you told us a story about Dad and how you got actually started with because I'm about real talk on the show and all that we do, because the real talk for me is making sure that people know it doesn't matter where we come from, what we've been through, that we can make things happen. Because I know you said you had a full scholarship.
Absolutely.
Can you tell me a little bit?
So let's just talk about the road to scholarship.
Okay.
A lot of kids these days don't believe that scholarships are meant for them simply because there's nobody telling them that you can, you should, you will, right? So when I was younger, the one thing that my dad asked me, I remember after a championship basketball game, and I was only 10 years old, he was like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "Man, I want to be a professional basketball player." Now, there's a lot of people and a lot of kids, I'm sure, who have said that, but he didn't realize that this kid right here really meant it. So from that day forward, every single day, everything I did it with intentionality. And so I got recruited. Say that again. Every single thing I did it with intentionality. Man, if you need a book, go read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I'm telling you, to teach you how to not be a drifter. So that's my first nugget for today. Okay. So get lit today. So So I got recruited to play at a private high school, right? Notice I said recruited because you're not supposed to be recruiting in high school, but I got recruited to play at a Catholic high school. And so I went to go play at this school for the first 3 years of high school. And from there, when I tell you I truly understood the divide between public school education and private school education,
Come on.
I was prepared in a totally different way. I'm grateful nonetheless, but when you think about the scholarships that I had, over 60, 70 scholarships that I was offered, I had friends that had the same level of playing ability as I did who were also offered scholarships. We went on official visits together our senior year, but on signing day, I was one of the only ones who signed because they couldn't meet the educational requirements. So it's one of those things where you could be amazing on the court, on the field, everywhere else, but if you're not properly equipped, you won't make it. So for me, I look back in moments where my dad was like, over the summer, no, you're not going outside till 2 p.m. You're going to sit at this table. You're going to do this hooked on phonics out of the big old brown cardboard box. You feel me? You're going to do this hooked on phonics with the headphones on. Back, cat. That. You see what I'm saying? Like you literally are going through the sounds, but that's how my foundation was laid. So, you know, hats off to my dad, my mom, everybody who really did it for me, because out of that, in conjunction with a man named Ray Jackson, he currently coaches at Ignacio Valley. He's the one that got me my college scholarship. Thank you, coach.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you, Coach Ray.
Ray
Jackson, he is responsible, and they don't talk about him enough. So everywhere I go, I'm gonna talk about this man. We will. He is responsible for sending over 100, over 200 kids to college on scholarship to different places.
We need to give him an award.
We do need to give him an award. They need to name a building after him, a street after him.
Come on, let's go.
He's the reason that I had over 60 offers. I got my very first letter from Karen Horsemeyer from Cal Berkeley, from University of Cal in the 8th grade because of Ray Jackson. And from that point on, I knew as an 8th grader I was going to college. So I moved differently when it came to showing up to class, cutting class, not cutting class, doing my grades, getting the A- rather than the B+. Like B+ is not acceptable when an A- is an option. Like my parents just get lit today. Like it just was, it wasn't an option. So for me, my mom made me realize at a very young age, no matter how bad you have it, somebody has it worse than you do. So if you have an opportunity to do something great, you better maximize, because you don't know if this is the first or last chance that you're going to get the opportunity to do something great. And if this is your last, then what are you going to do with it? So for me, you know, when I looked at all of the schools, you know, now at that time, I'm going to tell you, BH, I didn't understand that we had Princeton on the table. We got Dartmouth on the table. We got Cornell on the table. We got Columbia on the table. You see what I'm saying? We got Don Staley and the Owls at Temple on the table. And I got letters. I got receipts to prove it all, right? So what I say, I mean, but I didn't understand that me going to the next level was about my network, which would then control my net worth as I became a real life adult. I chose my university based on what the basketball and athletic side could do for me. So to make a long story short, I went to Oregon State on a basketball scholarship. I transferred from there to Portland State, still on scholarship. Shout out to Coach Elliott. I love you and
Coach
appreciate
Elliott,
you, right? Man, and then from there, I went to Cal Poly Pomona, and that's where I got my degree, Bachelor of Science in kinesiology with an emphasis in exercise science. Now,
let's go.
Let's go. So look, but here's the thing. Before I finished my college degree, I left early to go overseas and play professional basketball. So I went to Europe because for me, I finished my college eligibility through NCAA. But I still had academic classes to finish, because here's the thing. You don't make up your mind and be solid in the beginning. You transfer multiple times. Your credits might not come with you, students. So students, if you hear me loud. You are going to spend money. You're going to lose dollars if you don't have a clear path and you start transferring. Some of those classes can't come with you. So it took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree, and that's all right, because I went to Europe. I did what I did in Luxembourg, beautiful little country, played pro ball there, went to Montenegro, came back, finished my degree. Then I went to Puerto Rico and I went to go play my 3rd season pro ball. And while I was there, I got accepted to medical school. So here's the thing, though. You know how life always throws you curveballs,
it does. That it does.
My curveball reminded me that I was a black kid from Vallejo, from the Crest, from Gateway, and where I grew up was the middle of poverty. And my situation and the fact that I couldn't get out of it said it. Because as I'm sitting here looking at this acceptance letter and I start doing the research, oh my God, I made it. Okay, how much is this really gonna cost me? And I look at my first payment being a little over $12,000 just to get the keys to my dorm room. I'm trying to figure out where the 12 grand gonna come from, BH, because that's just a fraction of the 200 grand that I needed. So students, when I tell you, when you get them Pell Grants in school, when you get your extra financial aid, it's not meant to be spent and blown at the Nike store. Did you know that you can actually invest that money? Do you know you can put that money aside? If you have multiple forms of income coming in college, you might work, study, you might work at the local McDonald's. Do you know that there's people that get financially independent being supervisors at McDonald's, and it's because they know how to manage their money?
Whoa.
All I'm saying is you don't have to blow your money while you in college. You can just learn from the mistakes that we didn't already made, you guys. So, you know, for me, I decided that I don't have a way to get to med school, even though I got the acceptance letter. So my brother-in-law gave me an alternative opportunity. He said, you can work in financial services with me. And when I realized that he had just made money helping me get my financial plan in place, my life insurance, my $25 investment account, because that's all you need really to start, $25. He put that stuff in.
We blow us $25 on buying.
Come on now, 2 of them. Give me energy boost while you at it, and don't get none off the secret menu. They ain't gonna charge you extra $1.50 because you know I get my Skittles, man, my Rainbow Rocks. That's what I do. But you know, like there's so many things that happen along the way, roadblocks and hiccups, and then you realize, like, I'm actually kind of built for this though. Like, God put this in me. He really put it in me to do it. And if I don't do it, my mission was only given to me. If I leave it where it's at, then what does the world get to see that I was supposed to bring to it? It gets left. They say that the graveyard is like the richest, wealthiest place on the entire planet, right? And they say that because people pass and they still got all this amazing energy inside of them. So for me, it was like, nah, we got to make sure we do something with it. So I started working with my brother. My wife actually started our business first. I love her. She took the leap first. She got licensed first, life insurance license, health insurance license. And then when I came back from Puerto Rico, I followed suit. I got all my licenses. So currently I hold a life insurance license with the Department of Insurance. I got grandfathered into the securities industries essential because I've had my investment licenses so long, and that's a new requirement that they had as of 2018. And then I have a Series 6 license. I have a Series 63 license. I have a Series 26 license. I'm gonna break it down. A Series 26 license, that makes me an investment supervisor. I also have a Series 65 license, which makes me a personal financial advisor, which means I could charge people hourly for my time. Yet up until this point, this day and age, I have never asked for a fee at all for my time. And that's because I believe when you start to put a price tag on things and you ask for it, some doors get closed, and those doors are the doors that really need to be open the most. So for me, that's why I give the time and the energy and the information.
And I want to say, and I thank you. I thank you for your heart. I thank you for your spirit. I thank you for how you lit the young adults and the youngsters in our school at Homies Empowerment Freedom School, and how you were able to. It's the same kind of thing that I do, and the same kind of passion. It's like when you are your authentic self. When you're your authentic self and you allow the kids to be their authentic self and give them the permission to be their authentic self. I'm not saying permission like, yes, you can give your no. It's in spirit and how you carry yourself and how they know that you love them.
Exactly.
And how you give it to them. You give them back, you give them, they own who they are. And I tell the students all the time is that when you are acting or being like somebody else, and I had to learn this the hard way being in school. I was always a loner. I was always by myself. I was always thinking I was kind of the weird kid. Because I had so many ideas and so many things.
Weird is wealthy, normal is broke. Weird is wealthy, normal is broke, and it ain't even got to just be dollars. I'm talking about your spirit.
Come on, let's go. So with that, I fell into into the trap. However, into the trap. But praise the Lord for where I am today.
That's right.
But I don't look at that, and I tell the kids that doesn't matter, good, bad, ugly, or challenging, your story counts, and don't let nobody take that from you, because that's what you have. And you talked about the graveyard. When you go to the graveyard, what you taking? You ain't taking your house, you ain't taking your money, you ain't taking your car, you taking your ideas, all those things, your purpose and all that with you. So like you were saying, that if we do not give it to the community and to the world is missing something.
Absolutely.
God designed us to give our gifts away.
Absolutely.
And as we give our gifts away, we then get the joy, the beauty, the peace, the love, the whole, it's nothing like it. But what I'm telling you, but I was saying is that I just want to thank you for being who you are.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for the connection and how God works and how he connected us together.
Yes.
And it's about to be lit.
It's divine, man. Lit. No mistakes.
No mistakes. And I tell people all the time, I say this, when you walk out your door, you don't know who God's going to connect you with. It's going to be up to you both or you all to figure out why.
Yes.
So it may not be right then. It may be long down the road or some months down, whatever. Right. He did not connect you with the people for something not to happen. Right. And that's what I believe in.
I agree 1,000%.
With that, it's all in alignment to what I do and our financial piece with BH Brilliant Minds. As I shared with you the other day, it means begin healing brilliant minds. So we empower youth to take control of their own destiny.
Yep.
And then we give them the tools that they need to be successful in life.
That's it.
So that's it. And that's our mission, our purpose. BH Brilliant Minds. People would thought that it was my initials, but
not this time.
Not this time. Not this time. But just to say, I'm so grateful and honored to have you in. And we are going to continue on keeping it lit.
Let's go.
You know, this is how we do it.
Yes, yes.
With that, I was saying about the youth and you giving them the love that they needed to be themselves and to open up.
Ooh,
to be open for change, to be open for something new, to be open, because this world and all this crazy stuff that's all over, it takes away the hope of the minds of the people. And a lot of people don't understand that it's a lot that you carry out in the air and in your homes. And so you got to be careful. You
really do.
Guard. When God say guard,
there's a real such thing as spiritual warfare.
Oh, come on.
It is.
I know it to be true.
It's so real. Like, spiritual warfare is real. And sometimes, like, when people walk into our city, like, that's what it feels like. You see what I'm saying? And I really genuinely feel like our youth are at the center of that attack.
Come on.
And I feel like it's going to take real wisdom and guidance to lead them through it and like out of it. You see what I'm saying? But if our leadership is not divinely connected to the source, then the information that you're given, the direction, the guidance that you're given, it's not going to be holy. It's not going to be in line. It's not going to be in the direction that we need to go. So for me, every single day I have this thing where I work on self-improvement, like 30 minutes, like whether it's reading a book, listening to an audio, then I try to give that back in some way, shape, or form, either through my conversation with the youth, through something I'm teaching at a workshop or something of that nature. Because I think about it, my son is 9 years old, you see, and like, he, for all intents and purposes, is a black kid. He's biracial, but he's a black kid. Nobody sees biracial. They see black. That's it. So like, when we walk out of our house and he say, "Mama, you hear the fireworks?" Yeah, I heard them, baby. Those are gunshots. You see what I'm saying? But why is that happening? It's because our youth are not excited about the opportunities they have in front of them, because we don't have many opportunities that are available to them. When you look at our city, I love our city, but we don't even have a Walmart. Like, that lets me know somebody don't believe in us too much. You see what I'm saying? But we got a liquor store and a check cashing place on every single corner.
Single corner.
When we educate these kids, like, we talk about levels, especially from the space of financial literacy, I say, I need you to look around. What's around you? You got Ace check cashing, right? You can see that's the very first level, and that ain't even banking. And then you got the regular banks. You got Wells Fargo, you got Chase, but you're not about to see Mechanics or Merchants Bank around here. But then you got credit unions, 1 or 2, right? You might have to drive to Fairfield for Travis Credit Union, right? But then How come we ain't got no investment firms, except for if
That's
you go
right.
all the way to downtown Oakland and it might be one or two? You see what I'm saying? But it's
Right.
not even in a space where our kids really see it and know that it exists
Yes.
and understand that I, as somebody who's 18 years old, still living in poverty, could go open up an investment account that's going to give me 8-9%, where this little measly bank account right here is giving me 0.1.
And to that credit, to what you just said, when you gave that, and then you said for
Man.
them to see, when you
Right.
shared that with the youth at Homies Empowerment, our they lit.
They sit up and they see. They said, "Wait a minute, hold on." She talking about money? Yes.
Game got
Yes.
on the game. They got in the game.
FinLit is the new math.
Say that.
FinLit is the new math. When we talk about our students playing the stock market game, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about it.
Yes.
There's an organization called SIFMA.
Mhm.
SIFMA basically funds a game online, a virtual game called the stock market game. It's a virtual simulation of the real New York Stock Exchange. Same numbers, same company, same everything. As a teacher, a parent, a student, you can sign up to play the stock market game. Been around since the 70s. And do you know that as you are trading, when you first start, like for instance, our students, they get $100,000 of virtual cash. The students over at Franklin Elementary right now,
Yeah.
4th and 5th graders. The 5th graders, we got 2. Mecca Pruitt and Johan Jabegu placed 1st and 2nd place in the stock market game in the Bay Area division for California amongst even 12th graders.
But see, no one talks about this.
Nobody talks about this.
But we do.
We do. Today.
We do.
And
We
for
do
every day
today.
moving forward.
And BH Brilliant Minds and your company and
Yep.
your Playbook.
Yep.
We do.
Yep.
And this is why we do what we do, community.
Yep.
It's about giving back. We are going to continue to uplift our children and our youth and our young adult, because guess what? When you dead and gone, they're going to be sitting in the seats. And I tell the people all the time,
Yep.
I said, if you need to invest
Yes.
invest in these kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I try to do
Yeah.
in our business and my parents and our the nonprofit and my sisters and stuff, is that I grew up like that. I am an entrepreneur from the freaking
To
heart.
the heart.
From the heart.
Yeah.
Our business in the Bayview on 3rd Street for
Yes.
over 50 some odd
Come
years.
on,
Let me
say
tell you,
that.
Daddy made short. Mr. Willie James Howard. Folks knew that man, and he told us when we were young age.
Yep.
I don't care if anybody walk in this door, and I say it all the time, with a penny
To
to billions, trillions of millions of dollars, you better treat them all the same.
that part.
And you better encourage and you better help your community. That's why I do the community
Absolutely.
work that I do.
That's it.
You know, and then it was crazy because even I was talking to my daughter just the other day. I said, it's crazy how not me, the Lord chose me to be the one to be in the bakery with my parents.
Oh.
But my sisters, everybody had their role in the thing that they had to do. Jackie was in financing. So she took
Okay.
care of all, and then Melody did the the paperwork and all that kind of stuff.
Like
So we
admin.
right. We all had our role, and I was in there with the daily business. Had to. And then had my kids in there. Look, they grew up in the bakery.
That's right.
So customer service, we got it down.
Got it tight.
And I tell people all the time that when you are serving community, everybody can't serve.
No, they can't.
See, everybody
they don't have the heart for it.
They don't have the heart for it. And it was embedded in us.
Yep.
So the hospitality is there.
Yes.
We know nothing else but hospitality.
Like, let me make you feel good. What do you need?
What do you need to inspire you?
That's it.
To help you go to where you need to go.
Ain't that a simple question, BH? What do you need?
Come on now.
How often do we ask each other that? What do you need? Sometimes it's just an ear, a hug, a direction. Tell me to go left instead of right. Like, it's not a lot that we're asking for. But if you notice, we also don't give it a lot either.
No, we do. People think I'm crazy. I walk down the street and I say, good morning, hello, and I talk to people.
Yeah.
And I'm upbeat, and people like, well, looking at me all like I'm crazy.
What's wrong with you?
Why?
God woke me up today.
Why you smile? And I know, like you said, the spiritual warfare. When I see it, it's like it's there, and I'm like, whoa, Lord, wow.
Protect me, cover
me, and just let me. It's something like you said. Somebody just need a smile.
Absolutely.
Can we smile, people?
Yeah.
Can we respect each other?
Yeah.
And with the Bay Area Black psychologist, I learned in Ubuntu. So I see you,
you see me.
I
Yes.
see the royalty in you, you see the royalty in me.
Yes.
Come on, folks. We need this is what our kids need.
Yes.
This is what our young adults need. This is what the world needs.
Yes.
Is that I see you.
Absolutely.
And this is what this beautiful segment today, Get Lit on Fire,
Woo!
get fin lit.
Come on.
Is we know what the community
we know
knows.
what
we
the
know
community
what we need.
Absolutely, which is why we have to have seats at the table.
Come on, say
because we have to have seats at the table, and if nobody will give it to you, build it,
create it. You
Come
heard
on.
Jack,
You heard
James Brown.
Come on, man.
Here,
like,
I was grew up off James Brown, but go ahead.
Man, say it loud.
I'm
like,
black and I'm proud. And he said, if you don't, he said, I won't be on my knees, but I'll get up and I'll open up the door. I'll open up the door for myself. I can't remember what song that was. He said, I'll get it myself.
Well, I don't know.
And we created,
ain't we? Because I say if they don't open the door, I'm going through the window. So it's going down. Like we getting in one way or another. But what I do know is I'm bringing somebody with me though.
Yes.
So here's the thing. Here's the real thing. The way that we get the opportunity to leverage our individual greatness and bring it into collective collaboration is if we as leaders begin to be shepherds and not gatekeepers.
Come on.
And
it's a difference. And we just talked about that the other day.
Yep.
There's a difference between a gatekeeper and
tell them.
What you say?
And a gatekeeper and a shepherd.
And a shepherd.
Which one are you? Ooh. A gatekeeper is somebody who knows that they have the keys to the opportunity. All they got to do is make a phone call. All they got to do is put in a text message, an email, or hey, pick this person instead of that person, or give them this instead of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, the gatekeeper is going to say, I'm not really feeling you today, so no thank you, but this is my homeboy, my homegirl. Yeah, sure, you got it. But the shepherd is going to say, you know what? Let me show you what you need to do in order for you to realize this opportunity that I got. And so for me, I try to be the shepherd in my community. You see what I'm saying? So if I know that me as a broker have the opportunity to license any single person over the age of 18 can pay for over $1,500 worth of licensing. If you will literally just be able to just sit down and just listen to 32 hours of licensing, I can pay for that, right? Who am I to pick and choose who I want to give the opportunity to just because I'm quote unquote senior leadership? That don't go nowhere. But if I look at 1,000 people say, hey, y'all, I got an opportunity. Who want it? And then the people that really want it stick their head up. And then I run with those people, and then we create a little bit of what's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. Woo! And then everybody else get to see how great it is. And they like, oh man, I want some of that too. I believe in me. Wait a minute. All I got to do is go to class. Okay. I thought the book would be hard, but he doing it in I didn't. Okay. Yeah, I could do it too. It just starts to catch fire. It's a snowball effect. You see what I'm saying? But it starts with our shepherds really being shepherds, our leaders really being leaders. You can't call yourself a leader if nobody is following you. You can't call yourself a leader if nobody is following you. So for me, when I look around my city, I ask myself, am I able to pick up the phone and make a phone call and say, hey, I need your help with this, and know that that person will either A, show up to produce what we need, or B, send somebody my way who can fill that ask.
That's it.
I know that now I'm at a point where in my community, I have that level of respect, and I cherish that level of respect, which means that I cherish that level of respect. So when I walk into a room, I walk in not just with my first name and my last name, but all my ancestors that came before me. And I need and I want the people in my space under the sound of my voice to know and just understand that if we are in unity, if we are in connection, when I step into a space, I'm going to represent you too. And that's what our youth need to know from the very, very, very beginning. I don't care what your clothes look like. I don't care if you ain't had your hair cut in the last 5 weeks. I don't care if, you done been to a musician, to a beautician. Like, I don't care if you've done any of those things. How you walk into a room, it calls from your spirit. It doesn't call from how you physically look, although some people will try to judge you based on that. You allow them to see your spirit amongst all things. And from that, the Lord will give you the spirit of discernment for you to know and understand what direction you should go and who you should be in partnership and in unity and in communion with. So, when you walk in, when you show up, just the thing that I say, when you show up, you better show up walking in purpose on purpose. That's it, man. That's it.
Well, boy, I gotta pay the bill. It's lit.
Man,
so thank you for tuning in to Believe Radio, which is a 24-hour inspirational and gospel music station. The Eyes of the Conscience Soul with Sistah B. Mellow and all of our co-hosts and the hosts bring to you on the first Saturday of the month. It's called the Cafe Le Bleu Lounge, and that's my co-host is Rose Rosinity.
Okay.
With Homies Environment. Rose is in here. And he brings the truth. He like Miss B, we got the hood scholars. All right, baby, we got the hood scholars.
Come on.
All right. So that's where we have the artist talk. Why I dream. She who believes takes off the mask. And then every second Saturday of the month, we have the medicine hour with Mr. George Pearson. This is where we believe building a better tomorrow starts with us. And the topics we cover are health issues and concerns, healthy eating habits, education, financing, and politics in the African American community. Definitely always tune into that. And then education is the best medicine on third Saturday of the month. And then the fourth Saturday, which is tonight, this evening, today, the Lights Out Straight Talk Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. And then the fifth Saturday, we have Community Voices. Wow,
Yes.
you know, it's so exciting. And I'm lit. You know,
I feel it in my spirit, man.
And this is when you're able to bring information and have folks share about what time of day it is and how we can inspire and help our youth. And I want to bring
Carter,
the young man,
come on.
Mr.
Come
Carter,
on, Carter
on
with a
in.
K.
Yeah, Carter with a K. And we're going to have him share a little bit of his knowledge because, like I said, this is the Youth and Young Adult Radio Show. And we're going to always inspire, highlight our youth when we can. And this young man has a message for you today. And you can sit down, baby. And just speak, and it'll pick up on you for you. But go ahead.
Oh yeah. So first of all, let me just say I'm happy that you're here with us and that you really are gonna share your story because I think it's important for kids to be able to talk about, you know, who they are and what they're going through. So first, can you just tell them who you are and use your big boy voice? Look, who you are, look, where you from, how old are you, what school you go to?
Hi, my name is Cardi Ycoy-Walton. I am 9 years old. I was born on June 6, 2014. And I go to Cox Academy in East Oakland, and I'm in the 4th grade. And yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you this. In terms of school, what's your favorite subject in school? What do you like the most and why?
Math, because I get to study geometry and algebra and we have something called the carrot strategy.
Okay.
So let me explain.
Okay.
Oh,
You got it. What you got?
so like 100 times 24.
Mm-hmm.
So 100 times 24. You would write it out horizontally, and then you will underline the 1, and then you would underline the 24, and then you would connect them, and then you will put 24 because it's the answer. And then you would put 3 zeros after that, so that would make it 2,400.
3 zeros or 2?
3.
24,000.
Oh yeah, 2.
Okay.
Okay. I wasn't gonna tell you. You back for 10. So I'm just and look, I ain't gonna correct you. I'm giving you the answer.
2,400.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. You go to school in Oakland, right? Cox Academy. You guys share a campus with Reach, right?
Yeah.
Now, what are some of the challenges you've seen as a student going to school in Oakland?
Most of the challenges is when we have to go inside early because we've heard gunshots and we have to have 24 lockdowns last year because we heard gunshots a lot.
Okay. How does that make you feel when you're at school?
It makes me sad because I know there are police that we have, like not much police, but they're not doing anything to protect my school and my friends and my principal and my family.
I understand. I'm sorry that you got to go through that. Just know I always show up for you. Look, I'll bust down the door for you, kid. All right. Just know that. Now, let me ask you this. In terms of like ELA, right? So reading comprehension, math, things like that. How did you first feel when you got to Cox about like your studies? Did you feel like you were the best or that you could be better? Like, where were you?
I felt like I could be better because I didn't know how they did stuff there when I got there in 3rd grade.
Okay. What did you do to get better?
Yeah, I focused on my ELA and I started doing fluency more.
Tell me
What
a
is
little
it
bit about
called?
that.
What is it called?
Fluency.
Fluency. Okay.
Tell us a little bit more about
Fast
fluency.
So fluency, you have a sheet of paper. It has like from 1 to like 194, and you have a 1 minute time, 2 minute timer, and you have to try to read as fast as you can. And when the time goes off, whatever word you stopped at, you circle it.
Okay.
And then put it in the box, and then you write the errors you got down.
Okay.
And then you write like 193 because you had one error.
Okay. So how has that helped you? Do you feel that time fluency has helped you?
Yeah, it helps me. It helps me read more.
Okay.
And it helps me pronounce really words.
Okay. And what have you done to improve your math?
I focused on my math. And like I've asked my mom, which is you.
Yeah, I'm guilty of helping. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure. Absolutely. So let me ask you this, Carter. When it comes to like your studies, like, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but were you on track or were you behind when you were in the 3rd grade?
Behind.
You were behind. And then you did some of the things that you just talked about. So the fluency, the math, and then after that, you were able to, were you still behind, at level, above? Where are you at now?
I'm advanced. I'm above grade level in my ELA because the fluency helped me in the reading for 1 hour and the 30 minutes, and writing the summary really helped me.
Okay. Do you have any last words around like your education, what you want to get out of it, what you hope to do like as an adult, like what type of impact do you want to have as a kid? Like, do you have anything you want to say to the listeners?
I just want to say that that anybody who's listening, you can accomplish anything, even if you can't, if you think you can't do it, you always can accomplish something by giving in the hard work and trying to get.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Carter with the K. We thank you for helping us. But you did say something earlier today, and I want you to leave with this. Yeah. You talked about how it hurt you that you said something about Black and brown kids. Tell us a little bit about that. And then I'm going to let you go back over there and sit, and then we're going to finish our conversation with Mom, okay?
Okay. It really, what I was talking about, it really hurt me because, like, I'm biracial and I'm Black. And I see a lot of my other friends that are Black. It hurts me because 2 out of 10 of my friends know how to read at grade level, and we need another 8 to be at grade level, and it really hurt me because my math. I think I'm the only one that knows how to do my math.
Wow. So, I thank you, and I appreciate you sharing that information that it hurts you as a young man, so you keep doing what you're doing, and you're going to be the ones that's going to change the world. Yeah. And because of you, I have hope. That's right. Okay. I have hope that the world is going to be better because of how we are raising you. All right. Thank you. You can go back over there. Thank you
Proud
so
of you, Daddy.
yes, so very much. In community, it is so important that we give our youth the opportunity.
Okay, look. So I'm struggling.
That's
okay,
all right.
boom.
It just
All right, boom. There we go.
We can take. Matter of fact,
You
we
want
can
to take them off?
that off.
Yeah, I got this. I'm smarter
To
than the
right.
mic. I promise. Okay, there we go.
So with that, it is just I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Me too.
For Carter with a K and the work that he's doing, the work that you guys are uplifting our community with this financial literacy, making sure that our youth will be not. He gave some statistics around here.
Yes, he
so
did.
we want to make sure that our children are reaching grade level. And we're doing our part. The Freedom School is doing their part.
Yep.
And all of the other people that you're working with is doing their part.
Yep.
So, God, you got me over here. You
Look,
got my
man.
head spinning, young man, because I got there's some programs and things that God has already placed on my heart. We already talked about those, that we're gonna come. It's gonna be.
Oh, it's coming. Y'all better watch.
Yes,
it's
better
coming.
Watch. It's gonna be lit. But tell the folks how they can connect with you. What's your social media? How can they connect with you?
Look, you can connect with me on Instagram. So at look, here go the last name, Ycoy-Walton. So that's SYCOYWALTON. You can also go to bulletproofgrp.com. That's bulletproofgroup.com. So bulletproofgrp.com. From there, you could get information. And then lastly, I mean, you can find my email on there too. I'll write back. But look, I got to say this before we close out today. We got a little bit of time. Okay, good. Perfect. Well, look, in the whole space of financial literacy, there's a woman by the name of Val Chapman over at Franklin Elementary. She's a retired investment banker. She's a contract teacher for OUSD, but she is the reason that those kids got started on the stock market game. She's a Black woman, super phenomenal. And when I say she gives back in a major way, she started a nonprofit organization called Financial Literacy for Kids. So that
we gotta have her on
absolutely. Absolutely.
Was,
Val. And then lastly, Tim Ranzetta. You can go to Next Gen Personal Finance. So NGPF as in Frank.org. And if you're a parent, student, teacher, regular everyday person, you can go get free financial literacy curriculum on that website. Yep. N as in Nancy, G, P as in Paul, F as in Frank.org. Free financial literacy education. And it's all created by an amazing man named Tim Ranzetta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is, I am so I'm lit.
Man, who you telling?
I am on fire. Man. So with that, I do want to ask you, and I'm gonna add these two together because we will have you back on. You will be like a regular.
Let's do it.
Because like I said, in the medicine hour is where we can we talk about the financing and all that kind of good stuff. So we'll have you on that show.
Okay.
We'll have you back on this show, but we definitely want to make sure that our community understands our financing. And the word financing can be scary.
Absolutely.
But for you and how you deliver and how you give the information and how you share, it gives comfort.
Man, it should be easily digestible. Like it really should be as easy as a third grader understanding it. When we have financial literacy workshops and we put our third graders in the same room with their parents and their grandparents, and they can all play things like financial literacy, like Jeopardy together. You see what I'm saying? Like those are fun times, but everybody's learning, everybody's getting concepts that span generations. And now when you leave and you go home and we talk about how are you interacting with your children and have a real conversation at the dinner table, right? Versus on the phone.
I'm like, wait a minute, wait. We supposed to be having table gatherings together. It's talking about table talking. We have conversations and we talk about what's going on in the world. We talk about what's going on with you. And now we're not. We're just, that's what's missing.
Oh man,
that is what's missing. But that's all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm with you. The genuine connection, us being able to just talk, and our conversations at the table are different than some of those other conversations that are taking place across town. So I mean, I wasn't necessarily this child to be told, girl, it ain't none of your business, but I also knew inadvertently that the money of the household was none of my business, not because it was a bad thing, but just because I thought it was an adult thing, right? Not realizing that, man, it really could have been a kid thing, but the only reason it was an adult thing is because my parents were taught that it was an adult thing.
Exactly.
And it wasn't until my dad gave me Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Another book drop, right? We about to get lit. Look, the Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It talks about the different habits between his rich dad and his poor dad, right? Yes. And my dad told me very young to read that book. It was me who didn't pay attention and read the book. I didn't read it until I got to college. Right. But at that point, I understood why I needed to read it. And I immediately picked the phone up and called my dad and said, thank you so very much, right? Yes. Because it made me understand that I really don't have to be in this cycle of always borrowing money, that I can just, work on a little bit of delayed gratification. Then I can work on I can work on a little bit of delayed gratification. This is not the drive-through. This is not downloading an app. This is not like tying your shoe. This like saving, investing, planning your financial life really does take time, diligence, intentionality, focus, patience, all of those things that most of us don't exercise well, right? But it's one of those things where, like, I'm sure you've heard it where they say, okay, all of the great information is hidden in books because Black people ain't gonna look there. Okay, it's very true because there's so much great information in books. But when people say, what do you do to self-improve? No knock to some of our gurus on self-improvement on YouTube, but you can't get the same level of conscious understanding that you can from a video that you might from a book if you really read over those words over and over. So I just encourage our youth, pick up a book, even if it's just a half of a page a day of that book. Can you get a 0.5% better every single day?
Ooh, can you say that again?
Can you get a 0.5% better every single day? Because that's the difference between you showing up as the best version of yourself and you showing up how you are now. What we don't realize is that everything that's for us is already written. We just have to grow to the point of being able to receive it. Yes. So the thing that happens is most of us, we continue to do the same thing over and over, right? We know how it goes, expecting a different result, right? Yes. We also know how it goes. That's the difference of insanity, right? But what if you decided that every single time you did the same thing, maybe you do it in a different way, so that way you can improve and understand where to pivot. And in that way you do, unlock those gifts that God got waiting for you. Right. But if you never learn, He's going to keep sending you through the same situation and cycle till you learn the lesson. And if you never learn the lesson, you're never going to get the blessing. So we got to make sure that we are walking in divine alignment with what it is we're supposed to do. So to the youth, don't be encouraged to do things you have no business doing. Don't do that. It might be fun for the moment, but it will always come back. It's like cutting class, y'all. You still got to make the work up. Don't do it. Anyway.
You wasting time.
I was the kid that called home on senior ditch day like, Mom, can I cut? We going. I just want to get ice cream and come back. Like I was that kid. Like my mom couldn't bribe me into staying home with her from school. Steph, we'd go get lunch. We'd go to Saks. It was our favorite chili cheese dog spot in Vallejo, right? We'd go to Saks. She could look Carter talk about, oh yeah, that's because I take him there now. See, my parents used to go there in junior high school, but like my mom couldn't talk me out of not showing up because I understood that education was my meal ticket.
And that's what we're trying. Today is about investing in our youth and our young adults. Right. And we don't have a choice. Right. What do you ask yourself? What are you investing in? Are you investing in your spirit? Ooh. Are you investing in helping somebody or your wellness? So on that note, boy, time flies when you have fun.
No, it's not over.
It's almost.
But I don't want it to be.
Me either. So you almost touched on a little part of your. I want you to touch a little part of your dreams and your hopes. Ooh. I can combine that together. Yes. And then the next steps of what you think.
Next steps, dreams, hopes, and next steps.
Yeah, with the people.
Our children of this city, of this county, first are going to be inspired to be great and to be owners. They're going to be inspired to do something that maybe they've never seen before, but that they know they can do simply because they're being held and prodded and pushed along the way. So So I see our next level of leadership being our youth from homeless empowerment, you know, being those students. But I also see our leadership of the city. So like our city council, I see our OUSD school board, right? I see our mayor. I see all of these people who are elected by the people.
People forget that.
They forget these are elected positions. So these people are not so far removed that you can't send an email, make a phone call, or go knock at their door when you need something.
And they work for you.
They work for you.
They make it and portray it as though you working for them.
No.
That's why I'm like, if you need, go to city council. It is your right.
Absolutely. And let me tell you
something.
Something.
You see all other nationalities
Hey,
go when
they all go.
Look.
Let me tell you, when I started understanding who the leadership of this city was, that's when I started to understand my power around how I can initiate change, how I can inspire and spark change. So like, for instance, over on my side in D7, that's Treva Reed. And Treva Reed holds it down. Like Treva Reed is that one. You can't tell me nothing about my city council member. And I'm not endorsing nobody on this show, but I'm not endorsing her. However, she represents me. And what I say is she does a phenomenal job representing us, our youth, our unhoused population, and everybody in between. She shows up, and that's how leadership should show up. All the way down to Cliff Thompson. He's the District 7 OUSD school board member. He shows up for our students when we say, hey, we got this A through G resolution that need to be passed, because guess what? Graduation rates right now are a little above 50%, right at 54% for our Black and brown kids. But then why they not going to college? So you mean to tell me A through G is 54%, but graduation is over 90%. But when they graduate, they can't even apply to Berkeley, and it's right down the street. They can't apply to Hayward. How? So when we go to our officials and say we need your help, thank y'all for showing up.
Yes.
That's how leadership should show up. So when I see the future,
and that's
what I see.
That's the shepherds.
Them the shepherds.
The gatekeepers.
Nope, them the shepherds.
So, and with that, and I'm glad you said that. I also want to get a plug into a sister friend of mine. It's called Tonight. I graduated yesterday.
Yes.
From Laney, myself, and my sister. We did it together. So we're grateful and thankful to that. And tonight she is over the gateway for the youth. Okay. From college to school. From
cradle to college.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So but I the gateway program. So people, please get information about Laney's College Gateway. We had a lot of kids from Gateway graduated with their high school diplomas, and with certificates and degrees.
That sounds like Oakland Promise. That's like one of those programs. There's very few, but the ones who are here, they do great work for our youth. Scholarships, guidance, everything.
The whole nine. So we will be on here again, but I do want to ask you about, what do you do for self-care?
Ooh, ice cream, BH. I love ice cream. And we even made ice cream. I know, like,
oh Lord, I need to lose weight around here. Y'all
look, Carter done made mama some chocolate ice cream. High five to you. Yes, Carter made mama chocolate ice cream.
Me and mom did it
together. Okay.
He was doing the laundry. And then I had breakfast for ice cream on Friday.
Ice cream for breakfast. So, yes.
She got to have some, and then my friends had some.
Yes.
Okay.
So
wonderful.
Yes, I eat ice cream. And honestly, it might sound like work, but I read. Like I really do read. And then for me when I'm in a creative phase, that for me is healing. So like when I get to create something, whether it's art, whether it's like building something, drawing something, like, because I feel like that's the essence of being human. And I feel like it's the bare nature of God to create. So for me, that's my piece. And then lastly, the beach, anywhere where I can find beach water. I'm a summer baby, born in July. Shout out to my Cancer.
Okay, that's Cancer. That's me, and that's Jackie.
Yeah.
I'm June the 21st, first day of summer.
But go ahead. Now. Yeah, and then just making my community smile. Like anytime I can get out in my community. Like if you ever see me around town, most times I'm walking because when I walk, I can have authentic conversation and connection with the people I pass. When I'm in the car, I don't even know you exist because I'm moving so fast. So we got to slow down a little bit more.
Slow down.
So slowing down gives me peace. Other than that, I run full speed.
Okay. Keeping it lit.
Yeah.
Keeping it lit. Oh my God. So you guys, we're again thanking you for tapping in to the Eyes of the Conscience Soul on Believe Radio.
Yes.
Hit us every Saturday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. I do want to thank Mr. George Pearson for holding it down for the days that I'm not able to come on the air because of the different things that I was doing and still doing. And we also are preparing for our 17th annual Oakland Juneteenth celebration. About to be lit. So you can please mark your calendars, save the date. We are about uplifting our community, inspiring our community, and not only that, you're going to be educated when you come to the 17th annual Oakland Juneteenth, and it's going to be on Saturday, June the 22nd. Saturday, June the 22nd, 3233 Market Street on Brockhurst, down San Pablo, 925 Brockhurst. So we use the West Oakland Youth Center, we use St. Mary's, and then we have the whole street of from Market to San Pablo with 2 stages and entertainment, the whole 9. So please mark your calendars, bring your family out. It's a loving environment.
Yes, it is.
Honor family out there, and you will be teaching a
financial
up in there. You will be there today. As you know, as I said before, if we don't give our youth the opportunity, and I want to thank Mr. Carter for being in here, and if we don't, this is my responsibility. This is my duties for me.
Welcome.
You're welcome, sweetheart. You're thankful. Thank you. So if we, years from now, this young man is going to remember this day, and it's going to be a hallmark in his life. And this is what we are about, making sure our children and our youth and young adults have opportunities. As I tell people all the time, the things that I do, I have no problem with sharing, because it's not about me, it's about my community, and God put me in a position to say, hey, you get when you talk about bringing the people, that's what I do. I'm not selfish. I was that when I was younger. But now that I know the responsibility, as my dad would always say, and Mr. Howard, Mrs. Howard from Wendy's Cheesecake Bakery in San Francisco, I'm grateful and thankful for the foundation of my parents, introduced us to the Lord. And I know He is my personal Lord and Savior, you know. And there's so many things that if you knew my story, some people know my story, and you know that I'm sitting here today because of Him, and I have no choice but to open my hands and give back. And I'm praying that He continues to keep me safe, keep my family safe and safe, and the folks that I deal with, you know. So again, we want to thank Believe Radio. I want to thank my sponsorer, Pastor Larry Austin from Elevate Gospel Ministries. I'm going to say that again. Pastor Larry Austin for Elevate Gospel Ministries. That brother, I can tell you a little bit later, but it was because of him is why we have Juneteenth. Because I went to him when I was working with the Urban Services YMCA, when he was the executive director there. And I told him, I said, Pastor Larry, I would want to do something for our community.
You gave him the vision.
He said he went and got the funds for me to do it.
You need people
from
like that.
There to here now where we are. I'm just like blown, but I am the steward. God gave me I'm the stewardship over it. So I'm so grateful and thankful for Him. And then you got Education is the Best Medicine. You got Barbara Howard Consulting and BH Brilliant Minds Project Inc. I want to thank them. Definitely. We want to make sure we're tuning out with this, is that your mental wellness is important. So please tap into NAMI Contra Costa, where you can get information about the African American Uplift Program, where we have groups and different information to uplift our community. And we definitely want you to tap in. The number is 925-465-3864. That's our Cal Hope Warm Line. But you can go on NAMIContraCosta.org and find the information you would need for your family. We are a non-clinical, you hear me? Non-clinical approach is what Miss Gigi Crowder uses. It says NAMI Contra Costa offers culturally responsive, non-clinical support services for African American people. We provide resources and information to help people in their way during difficult times. We are here for you. So please, you have the faith focused group, grief group, and then you have living with purpose. You have African American support group, men in wellness and faith. And then we have a young women support group. We have a young men support group. So please, please, please tap in to NAMI Contra Costa for your mental wellness and do something positive to stay uplifted and inspire yourself and inspire your community. I want to thank my guest today, which she will be back on.
Oh, you know I will.
Okay, we're going to keep it lit. Woo. We want to say good night to you all. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank God for you. Do something positive. Have a safe Memorial Day weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.